What's going on, my peoples? It's your boy, Mr. OBF, back one time for your mind. Make sure you guys subscribe to the OBF the Family channel. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the bell button, hit the subscribe button, and if you can, people donate to the channel. Go to OBF the Real Cash App and donate to the channel. People, we highly appreciate anything you can donate. Listen, man, let's get straight into this. I'm not going to be long on this, and you know, this is that bias shit that I'm talking about. Blue Blood TV just put out a video making up shit. Making up shit of something that man did not say. Listen, let me explain something to everybody about uh the Showtime president. He did an interview and he was talking about why didn't the fight happen with Terrence Crawford. He explained, he broke the shit down clearly. I felt was genuine and honest. Okay? Blue Blood comes out the next goddamn day with a goddamn video early in the morning lying, man. Just straight lying. You ain't got a lie to kick it, Blue Blood. Listen, bro. Listen, I understand you doing business with Terrence Crawford. He helped you out. He got your bag. Listen, bro. You don't got the lie to kick it. Blue Blood comes out and say it's a lie that people didn't get Floyd Mayweather and them always got guaranteed money or something like that for certain fights, big fights. That is not what the Showtime president said. He was talking about guaranteed money of pay-per-view. He was not talking about money they give you up front. Like they give you money, certain money, not they ain't talking about pay-per-view money. He's talking about the upfront money. Like the money you get for fighting, right? That's what you get. Say if you go in there and you negotiate, for the fight before you even get to the pay-per-view, right? Because sometimes a lot of these people don't even know if they even going to be on pay-per-view. So they get a certain guaranteed money that they could get in the beginning and at the end because of the gate and shit like that, right? So they give you a little some money up front, right? That is not what the Showtime president was talking about. He was talking about guaranteed money far as pay-per-view. So when Blue Blood comes out here and try to make it seem like, oh, he making it up, he lying or something like that. That is not what the man said, that nobody got no guaranteed money. He's talking about pay-per-view money. And for Blue Blood to come out there and misrepresent what that man said, just to lie to kick it with Terrence Crawford, you should be a fucking shame of yourself. You know what that man said. And let's be very, very honest about this. In this day and age, I don't give a fuck who you are. The way how pay-per-views, how people can get the pay-per-view for free, I wouldn't pay nobody. If I'm Showtime or ESPN, Bob Earn, The Zone, I ain't paying none of y'all upfront pay-per-view money. I ain't giving no fight. I don't give a fuck how big they is. And let's be real. With a lot of these fighters need to start understanding. Understand your worth. And understand ain't none of you niggas is Floyd Mayweather. You're never going to get that type of money like Floyd Mayweather, not even Canelo. Canelo, he's not getting paid. He's getting guaranteed contracts for about $50,000, $40,000 a fight. And that's without pay-per-views a lot of the times. Canelo is probably the only person behind behind Floyd Mayweather that's probably is making big money. Like even in this era of how pay-per-views is, he's probably the only one making that type of money. The one thing about Showtime in the PBC, they understand that the value of pay-per-views is not like they used to be when they did that big ass deal with Floyd Mayweather. That ain't had nothing to do. And for Blue Blood to come out here on that fuck shit, to come out here and pretend like that man was talking about the money up front money. He was not talking about that. He was talking about pay-per-views. And you know that's what this man was talking about. Floyd Mayweather got that six fight deal. That's gets money up front money. That ain't got nothing to do with pay-per-view money. And he knows this shit. And for Blue Blood to sit up here to lie to kick it to fuck around and lick Terrence Crawford balls and shit, it's a bunch of bullshit. And he should be ashamed of himself for doing that fuck shit. There's no way impossible he should be out here lying like that, man. Out here lying about upfront money. Trying to act like it's the same as the pay-per-view money. That is different. That's what the president of Showtime was talking about. He was not talking about the deal that you get, that you sign for, that money. The pay-per-view money is different. Some get some of that money sometimes. Not all the time. Not all the time they get pay-per-view money. And they don't get pay-per-view money. Sometimes they get pay-per-view money. But they make a deal of where, like, so let's just say the pay-per-view, let's just say Terrence Crawford wanted straight up 20 million. And if I was Steve, I'd have gave it to him. But I understood why Steve didn't want to do the shit, because he doesn't sell. We need to listen, for Terrence Crawford fans and everybody else need to just come to a conclusion that Terrence Crawford is not the biggest draw. He's just not. It's not to knock his skills, his greatness of being a fighter. He's not a big seller. He's not a boxing superstar. He's a great boxer, but he's not a great boxing superstar. He's not a superstar because he does not bring in shit. And the only reason this fight is big is what it is because of the people that's on social media pump this fight up. And I give them props going back and forth with Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. But far as Terrence Crawford worth, without Errol Spence, he doesn't sell. That's why, listen, this is why I always make this point. And I don't mean to get off the subject about talking about Blue Blood. Listen, this is my problem with, I got a lot of respect for Trill Boxing and shit like that, what they do over there. I respect them, salute to him, Black CC 78. Listen, man, the hate for Gervonta Tank Davis of you just saying they don't fuck with Tank because he ain't fought nobody. Listen, Devin Haney ain't fought nobody, and it ain't really his fault to a certain extent because people was ducking him. I'm not gonna lie about that. But to sit up here and pretend like Devin Haney is on the same, he's the B-side. Regardless if he got the belts, he got all that shit all he want. He is not Tank Davis. He doesn't, listen, you could talk about fighting, but nobody's want to sit out there and be fighting for nothing. My bad, people. Fucking internet act stupid. Soon I do a live stream, motherfucking internet want to act up. But the fact is that goddamn Blue Blood, the fact is that Black and them need to stop that shit. Devin Haney got all them belts. He did whatever he did, and salute to him and his dad. But they don't draw like that. And that's just a fucking fact. And this whole notion, Tank ain't fought in so many weeks, and Devin and all this other shit before, the Lomachenko shit. Listen, man, that man is under contract. And Bill Haney can say whatever the fuck he want to say, that he could have went over there and did a deal with the PBC and Showtime is full of shit. You in a contract with Devin Haney. You in a contract with ESPN. Shut this door, bro. Shut the door. Thank you. What? Lock his ass up in the. Never mind. Never mind. I ain't even gonna say nothing. He could let him go ahead and bite another hat today. But anyway, listen, man. For Bill Haney and them to sit out there talking about, oh, we can go do a deal with the PBC is a goddamn lie. You under contract with Bob Erm and ESPN. It's a goddamn lie. You couldn't have jumped out that deal if you wanted to, unless you was gonna pay some money to tell them, look, we're gonna hold up on this fight. You was gonna pay Kambosos some money, and which no goddamn well you wasn't gonna do that. It'd have been listen, and for Black and them to be sitting out here acting like that shit can happen like that, it can't happen. That ain't how business work. So I'm tired of them motherfuckers sitting out there lying and putting that fucking narrative out there, like Bill Haney and all them putting it out there like they can jump ship. You ain't a free agent. You was signed to a month. Listen, people, if you do a 3 deal, you do a 3 deal. A 3 fight deal, I'm sorry. You do a 3 fight deal. Tell me how this make any sense to y'all. They did a three fight deal with ESPN Bob Arum. The reason they did this fight was if Devin Haney wins, right? That was the contract. That's what they wanted. That's what Kambosos and them wanted. That's what ESPN and Bob Arum wanted. So if he won, Kambosos, he would want to get his rematch. So he get his rematch, right? That's the second fight. The third fight was that Bob Arum was like, look, we want you most likely, which is happening now, with Lomachenko coming up, so Lomachenko can get them fucking belts and keep it on that side of the street. That was the whole reason of that whole deal. Now, let me explain something to y'all about business. And listen, Black, CC, all of them can sit out there and they can hate on Tank all they want. But the facts is even fucking Bill Haney, the facts is, it was fucking possible for Devin Haney to make a fight with Tank Davis after he already went over there and signed a 3-fight deal with ESPN. That is a fact. We ain't gonna make up shit. We ain't gonna say, oh, Tank was running from him, don't want to fight him, and all that other shit. You can have that opinion, but it's a fucking lie. That's just your fucking opinion, but your opinion don't make it factual. The fucking real fact is he couldn't fight Tank for 3 fucking fights. And it's just a fact. He had a deal over there. Fucking Bob Arum ain't gonna let him just go over there and run over there and fight Tank for the fucking belts. Everybody fucking knows that. So stop fucking sitting out here, Black and CC and 7-8 sitting out here fucking lying for fucking Devin Haney. Like, oh, he could have went, and Bill sitting out here lying saying, oh, we could have went over there and did a deal with them today. All they had to do is, you wasn't going to get no deal. Bob was not going to allow you to go over there, and if it's a big fucking chance that you lose them fucking belts to Tank, and then now they got to do some type of deal with the PBC and Showtime, which Bob Arum and ESPN don't want to do. So it didn't make any motherfucking sense of why they would allow Devin Haney and his father to go over there and do a fucking deal with the PBC to fight Tank. It's a goddamn lie, man. They need to stop fucking lying. Listen, you cannot like somebody, and that's just, it's cool. I don't really like motherfucking Terrence Crawford. But I'm not gonna lie on Terrence Crawford. I'm not gonna make up shit just because I don't like a dude just to make it just to shit on him. I'll break down facts of what a motherfucker do. I ain't got to like you to lie on you. I ain't got to lie on you to not like you. It's crazy how motherfuckers be putting these stories out here, man. And then, like I said, if nobody's recognizing it, ever since Devin Haney got them fucking belts, him and his daddy been fucking tripping. They doing the same shit that Teofimo Lopez and his father's been doing. They've been out here running their mouth, and they wasn't even talking like that. They was out there kissing ass, going around politicking with people because, no lie, and there's no fault that they own. People was ducking them, wasn't trying to give them no fight, and they was around kissing ass and politicking. But now that they got the belts, somehow, some way, they the shit. When he still don't draw, he still don't sell. It's a fucking fact. So Black can make up shit all he want. Why he ain't been back to Oakland. We don't know if he can sell. Well, listen. If that's the fucking case, well, why is it that he make it clear that him and Lomachenko can go and fight and fucking Oakland then? You know why he can't go in Oakland and sell Black? Is because the simple fact that his ass can't sell. That's why they trying to get New York, because that's where Lomachenko sells best at. Because Devin can't sell. And listen, we'll see this goddamn fight, how much if it do go on pay-per-view, which I highly doubt, and it just say and see how much they sell. That ain't gonna be because of Devin Haney like that. That's gonna be because of Lomachenko. Just like when he fight Tank, the shit gonna be probably big because of Tank. It's a fact. You can hate on Tank, you can dislike him, you cannot like the way Calvin is, how you treat Calvin, however your fucked up opinion is, a fact is a fact. Even if you think he can beat Tank, you think Devin Haney can beat Tank, that's fine. That's your opinion, and that is what it is. But don't be lying because you dislike somebody. You don't gotta lie to dislike somebody and making up shit. Trying to boost this dude up. He already got a big ass head. CC just was a couple of weeks saying he was saying fuck shit. Fucking Bill Haney daddy sitting out here sending media. Oh, look at Tank, look at his mugshot. Like who does goofy shit like that? You a motherfucking trainer. You a manager, dude. Be a manager and train. You out here playing little games on the internet, trolling and shit. Every time you see Bill Haney now, he doing shows and shit. He get out here, he doing YouTube podcasts and shit. Out here talking about fuck he out here talking about how his son gonna knock somebody out. Your son ain't knocked nobody out in 4 fucking years. This motherfucker, when he fought the dude Revez, whatever his name is, he after the fight, he said, how's the power? How's my power? You forget all about that shit. You talking about he knocking somebody. He ain't knocked nobody out in 4 fucking years. When the competition went up, he stopped knocking people out. It just is what it is. You can have your opinion, who you think is better, but we not going to lie because you dislike somebody. And I'm sick of motherfuckers doing that shit. I'm sick of Trill Boxing doing that. You ain't got to lie. You ain't got to lie because you don't like somebody. And now let's get back to Blue Blood, because Blue Blood need to stop fucking lying. Listen, Terrence Crawford, everything Terrence Crawford wanted, he got. Other than with Al Heyman told him, hey man, we can't give you guaranteed money on the pay-per-views. It's basically they don't know how that shit gonna sell. Because they really don't. Okay? They really fucking don't. Because he's not a draw. Now, people gonna come out and say, well, hey, well, if Earl that big, they're gonna sell the pay-per-views. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Pay-per-views is tricky. So he got the same deal. Earl say, well, if we ain't gonna get him no money, I ain't gonna take no money. Listen, and there been plenty of fights where Earl took fights and didn't get guaranteed money from pay-per-views. So that wasn't he made that an excuse. They offered fucking Bud $7 million straight up. I think Earl probably got around like 10 or 11 or some shit like that. maybe even 15. He maybe got that if I ain't mistaken. But I think Terrence got about they offered them about 11, I think, at first, 11 to 12. Then the shit went down because he kept asking for more and more shit. So they cut the shit down. So they was like, look, we ain't gonna give you nothing but no, he asked for about 15 or 20 or something like that. They cut that shit down to 11. Then he kept trying to go higher and, he cut it down to 15. So they did business like, look, we only can give you 7. So they was giving him about 7 to 10 million around there, and they was giving Earl about 10 to 15 or something like that. So that was upfront money. That had nothing to do with pay-per-views. That had nothing to do with the gate and all that other shit that they was gonna split on the back end. That's the back end money. The gate, the food concessions, all that shit, the merch, the pay-per-view sales, that's back end money that they would get. So the money that they was gonna get up front, they would have got. That had nothing to do with the fucking pay-per-view sales. So for Blue Blood to sit up here early in the morning, get up here, do a fucking video, and lie on that man, and said that that no, well, that man was lying about what he was saying. He was not lying. It was fights, pay-per-view fights. Tank ain't get guaranteed money, pay-per-view. Some he did, some he didn't. I can name you a fight that he didn't get it. The one he fought against Pitbull Cruz. He didn't get guaranteed money from the pay-per-view sales. Because they didn't know how that bitch was going to sell. Because they were supposed to fight Rolly, but Rolly got in a little situation and shit, the allegations. And, come on, man. Like Blue Blood, you need to stop lying, man. First of all, don't lie on somebody else. That ain't what that man said. He was talking about pay-per-views. He wasn't talking about upfront money. They weren't talking about the upfront money that you would get, or nobody getting no upfront money. That was not what that man was saying. He was talking about pay-per-views. Terrence Crawford, just admit what happened. Terrence Crawford, like Sean Porter told him, you need somebody to represent you when you go in there and do business with the PBC. That's any fucking organization, I believe. But let's just say it's the PBC. Sean Porter told him, don't go in there. Basically, I'm paraphrasing. Don't go in there being stubborn and price yourself out for this fight. Because you're going to make money. It's going to be one of your biggest paydays. It's one of the biggest fights in the last, you can say the last 5 to 6 years. It's one of the biggest fights. In the decade. It's one of the biggest fights in the last decade. So listen, he went in there and listen, and I keep saying this is my opinion. But I don't think I'm wrong about this. Listen, Terrence Crawford talking all that shit. He became a free agent. Earl got hurt with his eye, so he had to pull out the Manny Pacquiao fight. And Manny Pacquiao wound up getting Earl Spence wound up getting replaced by Ugas. Ugas wound up beating Pacquiao. Okay, whatever. So now he got a belt. Now, I need people to understand this. Earl could not have fought this dude that year anyway. He would have had to wait till last year anyway to fight him. Okay, because he still was under ESPN. He had his one little last fight, which was some bullshit. Well, no, one bullshit. Well, no, he fought Sean Porter. Okay? Mind you, Spence is still recovering from his eye surgery. So he wasn't going to be able to fight him that year anyway. And he was still, and not Earl, but Terrence Crawford was still under his contract with Bob Arum. Bob Arum wasn't trying to give him that fight. They wasn't trying to spend the money to go on the other side of the street to make that deal. Listen, they did not believe in Terrence Crawford, and I ain't gonna say for whatever reason. It's because of simple fact he's not a dude that sells, and that's why they didn't want to put money behind him. They didn't want to do none of that. If you notice, I think he maybe did a like all you know. He didn't do a lot of pay-per-views, and when he did do them, the shit wasn't all that good. He was down in the ones, and the last shit he did, I think he was in the twos with Sean Porter. I think that was his biggest one. And that was mainly because of Sean Porter. Because everybody was thinking that he can go in there. Sean Porter was going to go in there and upset him. Okay? Listen, and I guarantee you Bob Arum was hoping that. Believe it or not. Because either way, the belt was going to leave. But if Sean Porter would have beat Terrence Crawford, we wouldn't even be talking about fucking Terrence Crawford. And I guarantee you, Sean Porter and Earl Spence would have fought already. They'd have fought already. They would have fought. And listen, and they might have not, because I think Manny Pacquiao might have wanted to really go over there and fight fucking Sean Porter. Because Sean Porter was looking for that fight too. He was looking for, if he couldn't get the Earl fight, he was going to get the Sean Porter fight. I mean, if he couldn't get the Earl fight, he would have got the Manny Pacquiao fight. He wanted either one of them. I think if he'd got them belts, that's what would have happened. We wouldn't have been waiting almost a whole motherfucking 2 years, almost 2 years, because I don't believe they're going to fight this year. I believe Terrence Crawford going to make up some more bullshit of why he can't fight. So back to what I was saying, Terrence Crawford wasn't going to fight Earl Spence Jr. 2 years ago because he's still recovering from the eye surgery. So now it was already a guaranteed thing that was under contract. Soon as Ugas beat Manny Pacquiao, they already came up, and it was an easy fight. They didn't have to. It wasn't complicated, even through just going through, making the contract like it is with this nigga Terrence Crawford. So they made that fight that was going to be easy. So it was already set in stone. It was set in stone. Whoever won that fight, if it was Pacquiao or it was Ugas, they was going to fight next year. So it was already set in stone. So he still wasn't going to fight Earl Spence right then and there. Now, after the fight, now listen, I'm going to tell y'all something. Terrence Crawford, I believe that he truly did want this fight until he seen what Earl Spence did to Ugas. And then, mind you, we still have to understand, Earl still looked at Rusty to me. And he beat the dog shit out of Ugas. That made Terrence Crawford think twice about fighting Earl Spence. Not that he was scared, that he thought twice about that shit. And Terrence Crawford don't move around as much as he used to when he was in 145. I mean, at 140, like he now. He doesn't move around. And he got a little older, so he slowed down a little bit. He sit there, and I keep saying this, if they ever do fight and he sit there and try to trade with Earl Spence Jr., Earl Spence Jr. is going to break something on him. I'm telling you that now. And that goes for Keith Thurman too. If Keith Thurman think he's going to sit there and slug with fucking Earl Spence, he going to get fucked up. He going to get knocked out early. He going to quit early. He going to break. Earl Spence most likely break motherfucking Keith Thurman ribs. I'm telling you, because you know he weak in the body. So he better be trying to do something with his body. I don't know the fuck. But, and that's why Terrence Crawford sat around for almost a whole motherfucking year playing like he wanted to fight Earl Spence until he seen that goddamn fight. He could have got a tune-up fight, before they fought. He could have made that clear. He didn't want to do that. He could have went and fought that dude this last dude he just fought. That could have been a little tune-up fight. He could have did that shit over the BLK Prime. He could have did that shit. And then they could have fought at the end of the year. He could have fought, like I said, he could have fought from, what is it? April? Okay. From May, June. He could have fought May, June, July, and maybe August. And they could have fought at the end of the year around December, or they could have fought in January. I'm talking about him and Spence. He could have had a tune-up in those 3 or 4 months. And they could have got that deal done and fought. But no, he didn't want to do that. So for Blue Blood to be running around here acting like, oh, it was Bob Arum and them, they didn't want to get the fight done. It's a goddamn lie. Terrence Crawford go winning that bitch like he really a real boss. He not a boss. Listen, let me explain something to you when you were a boss. Showtime is the boss. Because you know why? Because they putting the money up. Bob Arum, ESPN, they bosses. They put the money up for Terrence Crawford to fight. For Earl and them to fight. Earl putting up the money, up some of his money. Ask Terrence Crawford in that negotiation how much money he was putting up. He was going over there to get money. He wasn't putting money up for the fucking fight. Earl was. That's why Earl was going to get more money than him. Because he was putting up money. And he's the A side. So he's going to get the most money. That's how that goes. I don't understand. Listen, you are the B side. Terrence Crawford is the B side. He can run around in his mind and think whatever the fuck he want to think that he's the A side. All he want. We know that your resume falls business, putting asses in the seats, is not true. We know that Terrence Crawford took the easy route. Instead, he went to go fight Earl earlier. He went over there for horns to get a belt. He could have fought Earl Spence early, but he didn't. So I don't want to hear from Blue Blood and Terrence Crawford fans running out this bitch, running their goddamn. My bad, people. My bad. I don't want Terrence Crawford and Blue Blood and all the little minions, Terrence Crawford minions and shit, running around here talking about Earl Spence doesn't want to fight him. PBS don't want to fight him. This is Terrence Crawford's fault. If he wanted to fight that man so bad, like that, like he said, and he really believed in his talent, he'd have just signed the fucking contract. He should have humbled himself. And like I said, I'm going to tell you one thing. He ain't got no choice but to humble himself, or he can still keep running around here thinking that he bigger than what he really is. He this big superstar. Listen, if Earl beat fucking Keith Thurman, and Terrence Crawford is still running around here pretending that he's the A side, or he's just as equal as Earl Spence Jr., because we can look at both of their resumes of who they fought and know that Terrence Crawford resume, it don't link up to where fucking Earl Spence shit is, especially after he beat Keith Thurman. He's already there. Earl Spence resume is already better for the people he fought already. That's why he's the A side. That's why he's the superstar that he is. Okay? Listen. If he beats Keith Thurman and Terrence Crawford is still sitting out here pretending that he's the A side, we ain't gonna see that fight. And I'm gonna say this straight up like this. If I'm Earl Spence, I'm like, yo, we sending you the same contract we just sent your goofy ass last time. You don't sign it, we moving on from you, bro. We ain't got time to be sitting here playing with you. And I just give up the damn belts and move and keep and stay at 154. I think that's the real reason why my opinion, that why Errol Spence is fighting Keith Thurman at 154. That's one of the reasons. Because if he beats Keith Thurman, and then he goes back to try to negotiate, spin the block on fucking Terence Crawford, and Terence Crawford be on that bullshit again. Hey man, fuck it. You know what? I'm already at 154 anyway, huh? Y'all can have them belts. I'm getting ready to go up here. Because he already had fought at 140. I mean at 154. So he used to the weight of fighting at that weight. That's one of my beliefs that I think why Errol Spence is fighting Keith Thurman at 154. One of the reasons. Because Terence Crawford fucked this fight up. He fucked this fight up. Nobody was injured. Nothing was happening. This dude ran from a fight that could have made him about fucking $50 million, and he ran away from that fucking fight. He ran away from that fight. And I'm gonna tell you why he did that shit, acting like he wanted money from the pay-per-view. He wanted guaranteed money for the pay-per-view. Because I'm gonna tell you why he think like this. Because he think he's a good businessman. He's so fucking smart. He's not. He was over there with Bob Ehrman. Bob Ehrman had him under a contract, and Bob was telling him, "You ain't gonna fight on pay-per-view. You gonna fight on regular shit, but we gonna give you this money." Listen. First of all, I ain't gonna say they waste. I ain't gonna say they waste. From their perspective, they waste money. They waste money on Terence Crawford. They shouldn't have, my opinion, on a business side, they shouldn't have paid them that much fucking money. Because he wasn't selling really like that. Okay? So that's why they was giving them crazy money like that. It's the same thing with Devin Haney. They was giving them, the zone was out there just giving them all this type of fucking money, and was supposed to blow, Devin Haney was supposed to blow up over there, but he didn't. Because he couldn't sell. And that's just how it is. And for the Devin Haney fans and the Terence Crawford fans, these motherfuckers are kind of in the same boat. But I know one thing about the Haney and them is that whatever Tank throw at them, they gonna take that shit. Because they understand, they feel like if we beat Tank, we gonna get the superstar status that Tank got. You may get a little bit of it, but you ain't gonna get all of it. Because what'll be in that contract as well is Tank, if he does beat Tank, Tank gonna get a rematch. It's like that. It's the same thing, I believe, with the Ryan Garcia fight. Most likely, if Tank loses the Ryan Garcia, let's just say that happened, he's going to get a rematch. So we may not even see Devin Haney fight Tank this year either. Because Ryan can go there and spoil that shit. So, but if Tank beats Ryan, it's a guaranteed fight that Devin and Tank is going to fight by the end of the year. They going to fight. And if Tank was really like everybody like, oh, Tank don't want to fight Devin and all this other shit. If Tank didn't really want to fight Devin, listen, all you gotta do is tell Devin contract will be up. Like, hey man, you already over there, fight Shakur, and then go do another 1 year deal. Fight Shakur, and then I'll see you next year. Tank can do that if Tank was so scared of him, Tank can do that. Because all them niggas want what Tank got, the star power. They don't have that. That's why all them niggas, all of them, all the time, I want to fight Tank. I want to fight Tank. Even though Devin Haney got all them fucking belts, the shit that he think he the man, everybody screaming he the man, but he's still calling out Tank. Why you calling that? Why you calling niggas out that you, if you feel that you already the man, why are you calling them out? Let them niggas call you out. You notice one thing, and this is what Tank learned from Mayweather, and it's smart. That's why Tank, if you ever, because people talk about Tank called Devin out. No, Devin and them was calling him out, and he got tired of that shit. And he was probably getting frustrated with Floyd and them because they weren't giving him them fights that he wanted. He wanted to been fight them niggas, but Floyd, whatever, it's Floyd, man. Okay, they wanted to keep that shit in house. And listen, Floyd could have been scared that he could have lost or some shit. But they may wanted to just build him to get him where he at now. That's why I said I didn't want to see Tank fight nobody other than Ryan and up. But the Garcia fight, I seen that. I said, all right, that's okay. That's cool. Tank been out the ring for damn near the whole half of the year last year. He kind of do need a little tune up. So I get why he fought the dude, but it still was a tough little fight. But he did what everybody expected him to do, but it was a tough little fight. Tune up. He ain't fighting nobody else but Ryan. We can't, like, you can't keep knocking the nigga if he's doing exactly what he said he gonna do once he leave Mayweather Promotions. He's doing everything he said he was gonna do, other than the little tune-up that he just had. And he still sold 350,000 pay-per-views for, and that bullshit people kept putting out, 80,000 pay-per-views. Listen, that was all hate, and I knew it was cap when it came out. How the fuck you go from your last fight selling almost 250, 275 pay-per-views to going all the way down to 80 pay-per-views? And you one of the biggest stars in boxing. I know it was cap. But that's that they putting that narrative out there so they can hate, so people can say, they can hate on Tank. That's all it is. It's hate. It's this is how you know that you big, when motherfuckers hate you now. You remember maybe two fights ago or a year ago, everybody loved Tank. Now all of a sudden you see everybody all of a sudden disrespecting Tank, calling him out, talking about his promoter. I mean, not talking about his promoter, but talking about his coach. His coach is broke. He ain't got no money. Why you counting that man pockets? Talking about, he don't listen to his trainer. He don't listen to Coach Calvin. Listen, if you ever notice anything about Floyd Mayweather when Floyd was in his corner, he really didn't listen to him. It seemed like he wasn't listening to nobody. His coach, Uncle Roger, was the same like Coach Calvin. God rest Uncle Roger's soul. He was the same way how Coach Calvin is. Coach Calvin is the same way how Roger Mayweather was. God rest his soul. Go look at Floyd fights in the corner and shit. He was doing the same shit that Tank does. Looking in the crowd and shit like that. Floyd did that shit all the time. Nobody questioned, he don't listen to his trainers. Niggas nitpicking now. And I'm talking about motherfucking trill boxing. You nitpicking, you doing a lot of petty shit now. All because he didn't fight your favorite fighter. Nigga, get the fuck out of here with that shit. Lot of motherfucking pettiness. I ain't gonna call it jealousy or hate. It's petty shit. Petty nigga shit. He nitpicking. He ain't listen to his corner. He ain't listening to Coach Calvin. Man, please, man. Stop the fucking goofy shit. All that fucking hate. And let me just say that I don't want to tell nobody how to talk and shit. It's demeaning. Even if it comes from a white person or a black person, for a black person, trill boxing black, out here calling black people monkeys and shit. It's still disrespectful. It's still offensive, bro. You might as well just go and just call a motherfucker, dude, these black fighters niggas and shit, the motherfuckers you don't like. Just call them niggas. Sound a little better than out here calling motherfuckers monkeys. If that ain't some down south coon talk shit I ever heard in my life. And I ain't calling you a coon, but that's like coon talk, how coons be talking about other black people and shit, calling them monkeys and shit. Who the fuck does that? But that's some down south shit. You know what I mean? Be out here calling no other black man no monkey. It's bad enough we out here calling each other niggas and shit. So, you know, oh man, all that old goofy shit. That should be goofy. There's a lot of petty shit going on over there at Trobox, and I salute them. I watch they shit, I'm subscribed to them, but I call motherfuckers out when they be out here being petty and shit. You listen. If Tank beats Ryan, your fighter, your favorite fighter, Devin Haney, will get the fight that he wants at the end of this year. I guarantee that. And the reason I can guarantee you that, because I know people that know Tank. So you're going to get your fight. So you ain't got to keep on being petty, talking about his coach and shit like that. Oh, yesterday talking about, Bill Haney ran Coach Calvin off. I'm going to tell you why Coach Calvin cut the live stream off and told him stay off his dick too. Because understand a respect level. Let me explain the respect level. And this is what I don't like about these Negroes, man. Some of these Negroes that get a little fame and let that fame go to their head, got them belts, let them go to their head. Let me just say something. When Frank Martin if he ever gets the chance to fight Tank, which I believe he will do if he fight another big fight, another 2 fights, I believe he can get. If he fight, listen, let's just say he get another big fight, like maybe somebody in the top 10, maybe a Jojo Diaz or something like that, and then maybe whoever, if Pitbull Cruz, whoever he fucking fight, and Shakur fight. Guys, I believe that should be. I think Shakur got a fight coming up, not for sure, but I think if he fights somebody like Shakur or something like that, maybe. But I doubt if he could get that fight. But let's just say after that, he's maybe if Tank beats Ryan may fight Martin or something like that. Let's say they get that fight happened with him and Tank. I guarantee you, because of the respect of their coaches, respect of the people that's on their roster that respect each other, like the fighters, they respect each other. Okay? They ain't gonna be out here calling each other brothers broken shit and all that other goofy shit that Bill Haney does. That clown shit that he been doing. That Teofimo Lopez hype job with, now that he got some money and he got the belts and he got a little fame now, he think he the shit. Now he's sitting out here acting like Teofimo Lopez and his father. Devin Haney and Bill Haney. So now, I guarantee you won't see Dirk James disrespecting Coach Calvin. I guarantee you won't see Coach Calvin disrespecting Dirk. Coach Dirk. You won't see that shit. You won't see Earl Spence disrespecting Tank. You won't see that shit. That's just real talk. So the reason that Coach Calvin was like, man, get off my dick, like, and because I watched the part of the interview, and he got off because, like, yo, I ain't got to keep going back and forth with you, bro. You being disrespectful. And like I said, a lot of times it comes with a tone in somebody's voice of how they talking to you. It was almost like I seen the shit with it was like Bill Haney, Devin Haney, excuse me, and Shakur. And they was all doing like a little video thing or whatever. And you know, Bill Haney doing all that talking. Let your fucking son talk. Nobody's calling Bill Haney out for doing all this fucking talking. Everybody talk about, Floyd Mayweather all in the scene. Leonard Ellerbe doing all this talking for Tank. What the fuck is Bill Haney doing? He doing the same shit, but doing it even worse. Because now he being disrespectful to the fucking fighters. He being disrespectful for the trainers. When the trainers start beefing? And like I said, the real reason Bill Haney and Devin Haney continue to keep going at the Tank the way they doing because they thought when they got all them fucking belts and they thought they got a little popular, extra little popular, and people start giving them props, praising them. He found out very quickly he's still not bigger than Tank, and Tank ain't got none of the belts. Mind you, Black and them always say he ain't got no championships. He ain't got no championships, but Tank's still the man though. Tank still sells. Everybody still go out there and fuck with Tank. He still sells more pay-per-views. He still makes more money. He's still a boxing star. Yo, he ain't fought nobody, but he's still selling. Devin Haney did all that shit and still can't sell. Still ain't as popular as Tank. Still jealous. Still ain't making the money Tank make. Since motherfuckers wanna pocket watch motherfucking Coach Calvin pockets, let's pocket watch they motherfucking pockets, nigga. They ain't making more money than Tank and them. Just like I was watching the interview with Coach Calvin, and I understood exactly what he was saying. He said, man, listen, I ain't got to be out here stunting, act like I got something. I know what I got. Anytime I need something from Tank, I get it. I ain't got to beg for it. I ain't got to do none of that. But shut the door. Y'all shut your door. I'll be listen. First of all, I know damn well y'all ain't talking. You in there when you in that video game loud as shit. Yeah, and you be downstairs in the basement. No, I'll be in the room sometimes. Don't try that shit. Just shut the door. Shut your doors. You worry about what I'm doing. Mind your business. You heard me? Mind your business. Well, I'll tell you. Anyway, like I was saying. What up, Talk? Shout out to Talking in the building. Listen, man. Like Coach Calvin said, anytime I want something from Tank, I can get it. I ain't got to worry about going beg Tank for nothing. I need something. If I need Tank to give money to the kids, he'll do that for me. You don't know what their relationship is financially. So motherfuckers out here talking about, oh, he broke and he all this and he all that. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. Pocket watching. Devin Haney father. Bill Haney out here pocket watching another coach pockets. And then motherfuckers say, oh, he just ran off the Black and them. Oh, he just ran off like you a bitch and all this other shit. First of all, bro, I'd have got off the motherfucking shit too because we supposed to have been cool. And you sitting out here, you out here lying to people, telling people, counting my pockets, telling me I'm broke. And then you're sitting out here with the tone of your voice and saying disrespectful shit about me and my guy, my fighter, making up shit, trying to shit on my fighter, shit on what we doing, so you can get the popularity that you want and envy and jealous and wish you had. That's why you see Devin Haney and Bill Haney out there. And I don't give a fuck what anybody said. The only reason they out here talking about Tank is because they assumed that they went through all that bullshit with Kambosos and got all them belts and they did all that shit and they thought they was gonna be bigger than Tank and they still ain't shit. And like I said, we'll really truly find out how big Devin Haney is in his next fight coming up with him and Lomachenko. We'll definitely see it then. And I guarantee you, if they do pretty good, and that's slight, if they do pretty good, that's because of Lomachenko. I ain't giving Devin Haney no credit. Because I guarantee you, why you think that, listen, let me just explain something to y'all, man. Y'all want to be real about this. Since Black and them and everybody want to get out here and be, dick riding motherfucking Bill Haney and Devin Haney. Let me just explain something to you about the bag. Okay? Let me tell you something that with nobody else out here will tell you about Devin Haney. Devin Haney, only reason he had to go all the way over there to Australia and fucking fight George Kambosos is because he couldn't sell here. Him or Kambosos. Facts. They can't sell here. He can't even sell in his own goddamn country. Fuck out of here, man. And like I said, you'll see what I'm talking about when he fight Lomachenko. And mind you, let's make this very clear. New York is Lomachenko home from the Ukraine. That's his home from home. That's his home in New York. That's where his people's at. That's where he sell at. It ain't where Devin Haney sells at. Let's be real. Black and all them CC Hunter running around dick riding this dude, man. He don't sell. They can hate on Tank all they want. Tank's still making money. He ain't fought nobody, but he's still making money though. He's still getting more than Devin Haney, and he the champ. He got all the belts. They still calling Tank Davis out. Tank Davis ain't got none of the belts, but he's still calling Tank Davis out. Tell me how that makes sense. If I'm Devin Haney, I ain't got to call Tank out. You listen, I just tell him straight up. He know what it is. Anybody can get it. I wouldn't even be calling Tank out. If he want it, he can get it. If Devin Haney the man so much, he making all this bread, he sells like that, he got the belts, he the man. This is exactly what he be saying. Listen, anybody can get it. I don't care who next. Whoever want this fight, they can get it. If they're in the top 5, anybody can get it. He undisputed, and just say he don't fight Tank, and he moves up to 140. Because I don't believe Tank gonna go up to the 140 no time soon. Okay? So, let's say he don't fight Tank, he go up to 140. He gonna be mad because he was undisputed at 135 and he still didn't get the biggest fight of his career. Because when he move up to 140, listen, I'm just telling y'all, he can move up to 140, fuck around, get his ass knocked out. I'm just telling y'all that. Them boys big up there at 140. You know this Ryan and Rolly and Devin Haney, they probably kind of the biggest niggas in the division like that. Man, listen, they go up to 140, fuck around, get their ass whipped, man. I'm telling you. Shut the door, boo.
Sorry.
They gonna fuck around, get their ass whipped going up there, fucking around with them dudes, man. That's a whole nother level of weight class. That's why Tank was very skeptical about going to 140. Even when he fought Barrios, listen, boy, them dudes big, bro. Them dudes big, man. He gonna go up there. Listen, man, let him go up there. Listen, all I'm saying is this: Blue Blood should stop lying. Stop lying on the president. Showtime, because that's not what he said. Go look at the interview. That's not what that man said. He lying about that shit. And like I said, Terrence Crawford don't deserve any pay-per-view money. I ain't saying he don't deserve none, but he don't deserve no guaranteed money off of pay-per-views. He don't sell like that. And listen, Earl Spencer's the A side, and he say, well, listen, I ain't getting guaranteed money either. I don't need it. All right, cool. Because he been doing that. He been going to some of these fights not getting guaranteed money. He get the back end. He get his money up. Some of the money is guaranteed money up front that they get, and then he doesn't get the guaranteed money of the pay-per-view sales, but he get the back end to see what the fucking sales is at the end of the day. And you gotta think about the stadiums and shit that they sell out. So, like, you know what I mean? The gates. Like, that's normal business. The real issue was what Steve was saying, the president of Showtime, what he was really saying, what Terrence Crawford was doing some fuck shit, and that's why he left the table, because he was talking about this transparent shit. He was talking about, well, I need to predict the where you spend your money. Telling the people that's putting up the money where they should spend their money and where they shouldn't spend their money. You ain't putting up no money, bro. Where they do that at? But everybody running around here talking about Terrence Crawford fans, running around here talking about, oh, they want transparent, they didn't want to fight. No, he didn't want to fight. How the Terrence Crawford gonna tell Espinosa and them, hey man, the PBC and all them Showtime, this is where y'all put the money up, and you ain't putting no money up. Earl putting money up. The PBC putting money up. Showtime putting the biggest money up. But, and think about the only person that's asking where money should be going or what they could do with the money and venues and all this other shit is the motherfucker ain't putting up no money that's asking for money. And then at the same time, you ain't even an A-side fighter. And last thing before I get out, let me get to this Timothy Bradley thing. Listen, man, let me just say something to Timothy Bradley. I need people to understand this too. Tim Bradley, let's start off with the shit he said about Earl Spence first. Listen, first of all, you can say whatever you want about Earl Spence, don't want to fight or whatever. You can say whatever the fuck you want. You didn't want to fight with Earl Spence. That's why you retired. So that whole shit you talking about him and Terrence Crawford, he don't want to fight Terrence Crawford and all that shit. All it is you talking about yourself. When Earl Spence was your mandatory and you were supposed to fight him, they was getting ready to make you fight him, you retired, nigga. Motherfuckers be acting like Timothy Bradley real old like that. He ain't old, bro. Timothy Bradley like 39 years old or some shit. He ain't even older than me. I'm 41. This nigga's like 39. He retired just like Andre Ward. They retired early, bro. And like I said, motherfuckers get mad because Tank said, oh, that he don't belong in the Hall of Fame. I don't think he does either. My honest opinion, he lost all them fights against Pacquiao. Pacquiao got robbed for that one fight that he beat Pacquiao in. When he had a chance to fight the young phenom that was coming up at the time, which was Earl Spence Jr., and Earl Spence was his mandatory. That's why when motherfuckers running around here talking about Boots Ennis, nobody want to. First of all, Boots Ennis ain't on that level. But at least Earl ain't retiring not to fight Boots. At least Earl ain't saying, I won't fight Boots. Timothy Bradley did that to Earl Spence. They got all this hate for Earl Spence. Bro, you ducked. You duck. You started the ducking. You ducked Earl Spence. He was your mandatory. You quit in like damn near kind of almost coming a little bit out your prime. You quit. You retired. Because you didn't want to fight Earl Spence Jr. Who the fuck are you to get down? You commentating, you all had it down, giving your opinion about who's scared. You the one was scared. You the one quit and retired because you didn't want to fight Earl Spence because he would have beat the shit out of you. So that's one thing about Timothy Bradley. Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit from that Uncle Tom. You're a company man. And if you notice, all the black people, a lot of the black people over there at ESPN is nothing but a bunch of buck dancers. They're a bunch of company men. A lot of them Negroes, the Stephen A. Smith, so there was a couple more of them, I can't remember, but right off the top of my head, like that, all them dudes, a bunch of fucking, what's it, Keyshawn Johnson, he another one. He another buck dancing. All them dudes be over there buck dancing, man, over at ESPN. So Timothy Bradley ain't no different than those niggas. He ain't no different than Stephen A. Smith. I don't give a fuck about what Tim Bradley talking about. You shut the fuck up about motherfucker Earl Spence scared or ducking some motherfucker Terrence Crawford. The fuck out of here, nigga. And let's move on to the other buck dancing shit that he said, the other coon shit he did. He said, oh, it's not personal with Tank, but I don't like him. So you judging him because, listen, I'll never take nothing away from Terrence Crawford. Boxing still, he's a great boxer. He's a future Hall of Famer. I give him that. I ain't saying he's scared. I ain't saying he's scared to fight motherfucking Earl Spence Jr. But I know one motherfucking thing. He very skeptical about fighting Earl Spence after that Ugas fight. That's all I can say. And I can say that he the one walked away from the table, ducked Earl Spence, because he felt like he had a lot to lose. And he's very skeptical about fighting Earl over a contract that he said he agreed to everything, but then he walked away from. I know that. That's what I do know. Then he say, like I said, he said about Tank, oh, it ain't personal, because Tank said he ain't belong in the Hall of Fame. That's his opinion. That ain't personal. That's looking at boxing saying, I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. He ain't say nothing personal about Timothy Bradley. Like I'm saying, he a coon, he a sellout, he a buck dancer. That's personal. But it's a fact though. Now, and I'm not calling him, I'm not saying for his resume, and I don't really think he a Hall of Famer either. That's not because he a buck dancer, he a coon. That's because I don't believe that he's a Hall of Famer. I thought the same shit when everybody, like Timothy Bradley in the Hall of Fame? What? First of all, listen, the Boxing Hall of Fame ain't no goddamn different than the basketball shit. Seems like everybody getting that bit. You know, I'm sorry, you know what the Boxing Hall of Fame is? It's like the WWE Hall of Fame, nigga. If you think I'm lying about it, ask yourselves, who got inducted into the Hall of Fame, I think a year ago or a year or two ago, that ain't even the goddamn boxer. He played the boxer. Can anybody name who he was? His name was Sylvester Stallone, nigga, Rocky, nigga. One of the greatest boxing movies ever. Okay, listen, they put Sylvester Stallone in that bitch. Man, come on, man. Man, they might as well go ahead and put Apollo Creed in that bitch too. Okay? Fuck wrong with them? Come on, man. And they telling me Timothy Bradley is a Hall of Famer. Please stop. This ain't hate. This is facts, Timothy Bradley. This ain't hating you personally because you're a buck dancer. This is facts. So the Boxing Hall of Fame is some bullshit. Just like the motherfucker, I believe basketball Hall of Fame is some bullshit. Everybody just getting that bitch that don't belong in there. Now, Timothy Bradley says it wasn't personal with Tank. Then he goes off on this rant saying, "Oh, Tank is a great fighter, but I don't like the shit that he does outside of the ring." That means you taking this shit personal. Because whatever the fuck, if you don't like him as a boxer, that's one thing. If you think Ron Garcia can beat him, that's one thing. But you said you don't like him. He's a piece of shit because of the allegations, or what you see outside of the ring got nothing to do with him in the ring. Nothing. But I'm going to bust your bubble even with the outside of the ring shit that you're bitching and complaining. This is how I know you're Uncle Tom. This is how I know you're a buck dancer. This is how I know you're a company man. Okay? Let me bust your bubble on the Tank shit. All right. Let's just go off of your narrative for what you say. Right? Did you see Timothy Bradley keep that same energy for Dana White? Oh, I'll wait. Anybody here, Timothy Bradley say anything about Dana White? anything. Huh? No. He said goddamn thing. Because you know why? Because he worked at that same company. He's a company man. ESPN told everybody, you better not say nothing bad about Dana White. He got white privilege. Y'all niggas better not say nothing. Y'all better not say nothing. You ain't say shit about Dana White, Timothy Bradley. And until you say something about Dana White, shut the fuck up about Tank outside shit that happened. You don't get the right to speak on Tank outside shit that go on. Allegations or whatever. Or what you see or what you hear, your pussy ass. You don't get to talk about that man. Outside behaviors. Until you call a motherfucker that a company that y'all both work for, a guy that worked for that company will get money, got to deal with him, that should have put a black eye on ESPN, but I guess not. Right? You ain't say nothing about Dana White until you say something about Dana White. What the fuck are you talking about Tank Davis for? He 28 years fucking old. I'm not saying the first shit that he did was okay what he did. I'm not saying the little hit and run shit was right. It did what he did, but hey, he going through the courts. He going through what he was going through. The last that was an allegation. That woman lied on him. She made up shit. Dana White is fucking 50-something years old, and he out here smacking the shit out of his wife, and you ain't say shit about that. That goes for Devin Haney father. Why the fuck you ain't say nothing about Dana White either? Oh, I'm sorry. Bill Haney ain't said a goddamn thing about Dana White. Because you know why? Because he over there at ESPN too. That's why he ain't said nothing. Devin Haney either. They ain't say a motherfucking thing about Dana White. Shut the fuck up. I don't see you motherfuckers out here going at the motherfucker Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya. Why you ain't doing that? So Timothy Brown, you shut the fuck up. Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. None of you, I don't give a fuck about a lot of y'all saying anything about the situation that happened with Tank, the allegation. Fuck out of here. Call Dana White out first, and then I think about talking about Tank Davis. The fuck out of here, man. I already said what I said about Tank, and I still feel the same way I feel about it. He need to get the fuck away from that chick. And like I said before, it'll happen again. She'll do it again. Or this time, they both fuck around, go to jail. Or somebody gonna get hurt, get killed. I'm telling you. You know what it remind me of? It remind me of the motherfucker, God rest his soul, Arturo Gatti. Because if I ain't mistaken, I think Arturo Gatti, I think didn't his wife kill him or something? Somebody. I think that happened. I could be wrong about that. You need to get away from that girl. She trying to fuck that bag up because she, whatever the situation, even if it's over some cheating shit, get the fuck out of there, leave. Do what a lot of you scum bucket ass bitches be doing, going out here when you get mad at a nigga. Go out there and run that child support on a nigga. All that fuck shit you be doing. You ain't give a fuck about really the kid. You care about yourself. Go do that unfair shit to men type shit. Trying to take motherfucking niggas' money away and all that goofy shit that women be doing. Man, please get the fuck out of here. Listen, people. Timothy Bradley shouldn't be talking about nobody. You're a company man. You're a dancer, and you ain't got to like what Tank doing outside of the ring or whatever that shit is. Until you call out Dana White, ain't nobody give a fuck about you disliking Tank Davis because of the outside shit that you hear and you think you see. You just he basically, and this is how you know he being biased and being a hater and shit. He says, I don't care what the girl said. I heard what I heard in the tape. I heard the same shit. I didn't hear nothing. The girl was actually calling for somebody who's supposed to be getting her ass whipped. When you know somebody getting their ass whipped, they calm on the phone. Bullshit. Anyway, people, leave your comments, hit that like button, support your boy. It's your boy, Mr. OBF. Peace and love.